Have you ever felt like life was crashing over you, wave after wave, and no one could see how close you were to drowning? Maybe you've cried out in the middle of the night, "God, where are you?" That's when Jesus whispers, "I'm right here." This message is for every broken heart, every weary soul, every person who feels unseen. Because the truth is, Jesus never left you. The storm within. There are moments when everything feels heavy. You smile in public, but inside you're fighting invisible battles. Loneliness, fear, regret, guilt. You wonder if God still listens, if he still cares. But listen closely. Jesus never promised a life without storms. He promised his presence in the middle of them. The disciples learned this one night on the Sea of Galilee. The wind was violent. The waves crashed into their boat. They thought they would die. And in that very moment, Jesus came walking toward them on the water, not running, not shouting, walking. Because what scares you doesn't scare him. What feels impossible to you is the ground he walks on. When Jesus speaks, chaos must listen. The disciples panicked. They thought he was a ghost. But Jesus said, "Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid." Those 3 words, "It is I," still echo through eternity. Because when Jesus shows up, fear loses its grip. He didn't need to fight the storm. He simply spoke, and the wind obeyed. You see, when you invite Jesus into your situation, you're not just asking for help. You're inviting peace itself. His voice still calms storms today. Not just around you, but inside you. He comes even when you doubt. Peter saw Jesus walking on water and said, "Lord, if it's you, tell me to come." Jesus said one word, "Come." And Peter did the impossible. He walked on water. But the moment he looked at the waves, he began to sink. Still, Jesus didn't let him drown. He reached out, grabbed his hand, and lifted him up. Maybe you've looked at your circumstances too long. Maybe you focused on your failures more than his faithfulness. But hear this. Even when your faith fails, his grace doesn't. Jesus doesn't wait for you to be perfect. He steps into your mess and says, "I'm here." When you feel forgotten. There are days when heaven feels silent. You pray, but no answer comes. You try to stay strong, but life keeps breaking you down. In those quiet moments, remember this. Jesus was silent on the cross too. He didn't speak because his suffering was speaking louder than words, and that silence saved you. When it feels like God isn't speaking, it doesn't mean he's absent. It means he's working in ways you can't yet see. Grace for the broken Jesus has always loved broken people. The woman caught in adultery, the tax collector nobody liked, the thief on the cross. He never turned them away. He doesn't turn you away either. Your past doesn't define you. His love does. Your failure isn't final. His forgiveness is. Sometimes people may remind you of who you were, but Jesus always reminds you of who you can become. You are chosen. You are loved. You are forgiven. The gentle voice that heals Jesus doesn't shout at your pain. He whispers to it. He says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." There's something holy about that invitation. It's not just about religion. It's about relationship. He's not asking for your perfection. He's offering his peace. When you fall apart, he doesn't run away. He kneels beside you, holds your tears, and says, "You're still mine." From darkness to light. There was a time when the cross looked like defeat. The sky went dark. Hope seemed gone. But 3 days later, light broke through the tomb. Jesus rose. The stone was rolled away. Not so he could get out, but so you could see in and know the grave couldn't hold him. And if death couldn't stop him, neither can your sin, your shame, or your past. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. He still walks with you. Every time your heart aches, every time you feel alone, remember this: he still walks beside you. You might not see him, but you can feel his presence. He's there in your quiet prayers, in your trembling hands, in your moments of surrender. When you whisper, "Jesus, help me," heaven listens. You're not forgotten. You're not invisible. You're not unworthy. You are deeply loved by the Savior who conquered death just to be near you. Your story isn't over. Maybe you think you've gone too far, made too many mistakes, or wasted too many years. But Jesus specializes in new beginnings. He turns pain into purpose, scars into stories, and graves into gardens. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," is still speaking life over you today. No matter where you've been, he can still rewrite your story. An invitation from heaven. Right now, Jesus is reaching out his hand, just like he did to Peter, and saying, "Come. Come out of fear. Come out of guilt. Come into peace." You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to say, "Yes, Lord." Because when you walk with him, storms turn into testimonies, and tears turn into triumph. Ending. The promise that never fails. At the end of every hard day, when you close your eyes and wonder if God still cares, remember this: he cared enough to die for you. The cross wasn't the end. It was the beginning. The blood wasn't tragedy. It was redemption. And the empty tomb isn't just a miracle. It's your invitation to live again. So today, breathe, smile, lift your eyes. The same Jesus who calmed the sea is calming your heart right now. He's saying, "Peace, be still." And when Jesus says it, the storm must obey.